Hello. So in yesterday's class, we talked about how to build APIs, that to REST APIs, right? And we built two routes. One is to get all the tours, and another one is to get a particular tour, right? This is what we did yesterday, right? So I will just write a comment here to get all the tours. And this one is to get a particular tour, to get a single tour. And this thing, what do we call this as? We call this as parameter or param, right? And you can access this parameter in the request using request.params property. Clear? Okay, and we try to retrieve a particular tour from the tours that we have read, right? And then we send it as the response. Clear? And what if the tour is not present, right? What if the ID is not valid? Then we try to send a different response with the status of 404, meaning not found, and the JSON messages fail and invalid ID. I hope you are clear until here, right? And now we will try to make something different. We will try to send a post request. Okay, so we'll try to create a new tour. Okay, so for that, what do we do? App, let me just get it here. And I have installed an extension called as Codium. Okay, so it's a free auto completion tool. It's a AI tool. Okay, so you can use it or you don't have to. But right now I have installed it. It might give me some suggestions. I hope it doesn't bother you guys. Okay, it's an alternative for Copilot. And don't worry if you don't know anything about those things. Okay, okay. So now app dot post and the URL is API slash, sorry, it should start from slash API slash version1 slash tours. Clear? And then I will try to write the, sorry, the, this thing is called as route handler. Sorry, I will try to define a route handler here. So request and response. Okay. So now what do we do here? Right? We want to uh, accept a tour from the user and then store it into our tours, right? That's what we want to do, right? When I say that store it into tours, it should be written into this file as well, right? After this tour, after the eighth tour, I want to write down the ninth tour here, right? That's what I want to do, right? How do we do it, right? So the first thing is, how do we even get the data? I mean, how do we even send the data to the server as a client, right? In order to do that, let's go into our Thunder client. Okay, so come back here, and in the collection, we have our natures collection. I hope you guys have made this collection. And here I have created a post request, right? It says create tool. And if you click here, now um, this is a post request. And what you can do is you can go to body here, right? So this is the request body. We usually send data from the client inside the body of the request object body. Clear? Okay, so click on this body and try to write what you want to send here. Okay, it should be JSON. Keep it to JSON and then take flower brackets. And inside this, I want to start writing the tool. And how does this tool look like? Right? So I don't want to write ID myself because usually ID will be assigned by the database itself. Okay, right now we don't have database, but I will assign the ID later on in the server program. Okay, but I just want to send some of the details here. I want to send the name of the tour, duration, and maximum group, and maybe some price about it. Okay, these are the four things or five things I want to send. Okay, so come back here and the name. Everything should be in the key should be a string. In JSON, the key should always be string. Okay, that's the rule. And then the name of the tour is, let's say, Chamundi Hills, and then the duration is one day. This is totally fine. And max group size, you can have like, let's say 10 people. That's the max. And the price, you can keep it to, let's say, some 200 rupees. Okay. So it should be, key should be string. Sorry. I hope this part is clear. I have saved it as well. Okay. Control S. Now I want to send this request. Okay, and I have not even started my server yet. Let's start the server. npm start. Clear. And I have not sent any response yet, right? This one, I have not sent any response yet. If I hit send, it will be loading, right? Like it will start loading. That's it. There is no process because once a request is sent, it will be waiting for the response back. And in the program, we have accepted the request, but we have not sent anything. So the cycle is incomplete, right? Okay, so let's try and send the response. Okay, what do we want to send the response? Even before sending the response, we need to access the request body, right? And then accept the tour and write it into this file. Then once everything is done, we can give them a message saying, okay, we successfully returned, right? That's what we want to do. Okay, so how do you access the request body? Okay, so in Express, by default, you cannot simply access request body. Let's just come and write it here. Okay, let's log this request.body. Okay, so now if I save it and open the terminal back, and let's send a quick request and observe here, I got a undefined one. So this is because by default, Express will not give you the request body. It won't be having it. Okay. If you want to access the request body, this is what you need to do. Okay. Come to the top level of the code. Okay. And here, okay, you have to do something. I will write this saying to access request dot body. Okay. You will try to run a middleware. Okay. So the middleware is this. Okay. Because I have installed a Codium extension, it already gives me the suggestion. I can hit simply tab. Okay, so I won't hit that do now. The thing that you need to do is get the app and use. Whenever you want to run middleware functions, okay, I will discuss about what middleware is right after this class. Okay, so whenever you want to run middlewares, a custom middleware functions, you use something called as app.use method. Okay, and inside this, you'll try to run this. Okay, the method that you want to run here is called as express.json. Clear? It's a method. Okay, so now because you ran this middleware, now you are able to access the request.body. Clear? The body will be available now. So now if I hit send again, you can see that I'm able to read the value from the body, right? The name is Chamundi Hills, duration is 1, max group size is 10, price is 200. I hope this point is very clear. Okay, so now let's come back here and let's try and do something different, meaning let's send the response back. Okay, okay, so now I'm able to access the request.body. What do I need to do with this request.body? Meaning this new tool, I need to write this into this file. That's what I want to do. Okay, and again, when I say I need to write this new tour into the file, it should be asynchronous one because it shouldn't block other executions, right? Node.js is single threaded. I have told this many times. You shouldn't block your code, meaning you shouldn't block application. Others should be able to access your application even when the file is being written or something is going on. Clear? Okay, so now instead of logging this, I will try to write this. Okay, so first I will try to read this const new tour equals to request.body, right? So as you can see here, because of the Codium, I'm really able to get everything instantly, right? And this store doesn't have the ID. right? When I tried to send this, it didn't have the ID, right? So I should create the ID as well. Okay. So when I said here, it doesn't have an ID, right? Let's create the ID here first and then attach to it. Okay. So const new ID equals to, how do I create the new ID? Okay, it already gives me suggestion. You shouldn't install it. It's just pure JavaScript. Okay, so my tours, already having tours, I will try to get the last tour, right? Which is the last tour? This is the last tour. Like tours dot length, right? This is the last tour. And from here, if I want to access its index, this is what its index, -1, right? This is how you get the last tour's ID. Okay, so tours dot length, sorry, this is the last two, right? I'm trying to, sorry, this confused me itself. What I'm trying to do is in order to get the last tour ID, like here, how do you get the last tour ID from the array? I'll try to access this object and then its ID. That's what I want to do. Okay, how do we get that? From the tours ID, last tour will be available with the last index. That is, total length -1 will be the index of the last store, right? And then from here, I can simply take the ID. Clear? Okay. So now once you get the ID, and it will be a simple number, right? To that, you will simply add +1, and that will be the new ID. Clear? I hope this is very much clear to you guys. Or we can even do something different, like tours.length. That will be the new ID itself. Clear? Okay, so now you can save it. Let's come back here, and once you have the new ID, let's attach this new ID to the new tool. Okay, okay, how do we do it? And let's make it to let here. Okay, because I want to change it now. Okay, so now the new tour equals to, I will take a new object with all the previous new tour data, and then the ID is the new ID. I hope this is clear. We have done this in React as well, right? So this is object destructuring, sorry, object spreading all the values of the previous store and then adding the new key here. I hope this is clear. And then once you have the new tool, what do? I will write this into the new array, right? So how, like, let's take this tours and then we will try to push this tour into the old array, right? So this is the tours array, and to that we are trying to push the new tour. The Codium is really confusing me a bit, meaning it's keep on giving me suggestion. And it's a bit disturbing me right now. Okay, but let's not worry about it too much. Let's just move on. Okay, and then let's send the response back. Sorry, even before sending the response, I want to write it. So it already gives me suggestion fs dot write file, just write file. I don't want it in a synchronous way. Okay, synchronous will block the code. Clear? Okay, how do I write it? The first thing is I need to mention the path, right? The path is, okay, it's already giving me properly, right? So the directory name, data to simple.json. That's where I want to write it. And then the value that you want to write, right? So come back here, we will take the dollar and I will just simply hit tab and I will explain. Okay. Okay, so this is the path where I want to write. And then what do I want to write? I want to first take the tours object, convert it into a string, and then I want to write it. Okay, so once you finish writing, you will get a callback function. And the first thing is the error, and second thing is the data, right? What you have written. So come back here, okay, and let's send the response back. Res dot send. Okay, what do I want to send? I don't want to send. I want to send a JSON data here, and I will write a message saying success. Sorry, let's not write this. status success, and then we can have the uh, data itself, or the we can simply give them the data of which tour that we returned. Okay, so new tour is the data that we just wrote. We can simply send that, and this status code here as status code is 201 for creating the data, right? Okay, I hope this was clear to you guys. Okay, I will try to explain this post request once, and I hope you guys will follow me. Okay, so I will take app.post in order to handle the post request, and the route is this. Okay, API slash version one slash tours. Here, the route handler is this. Okay, and this route handler first will try to access the request body. In order to access the request body, you need to have this middleware being executed, right? App.use and express.json. Only if you have done this, you will be able to access the request.body. And once you access the request.body, okay, so you will store it into the new tool, but it doesn't contain an ID. We need to have an ID, right? In order to calculate the new ID, first we will pick up the last tool, and from that we will try to pick the ID of it, and from that we will add new plus one to it, and that will be the new ID. And we will take object spreading, and we'll spread all the values from the new tool, and the extra ID key is added here, right? Once you have the new tool, you will try to push it to the tools object, right? Once you have the tools, you'll try to write it, right? But as a string and in the path of this, but we are using the asynchronous write file function from the file system module. And once it's written, we will simply send a response here, right? With the status of 201, meaning created. And in JSON, we are saying the status is success, and we will simply send the new tool that we have created. Okay, so let's save it and come back here, okay, and hit send. And observe here, we got a status of success, right? And data is the new thing, and the ID is 9. That is correct, right? The old tool had the ID of 8, and now we have the 9. Okay, so come back here to tools file and format it, Shift Alt F, and observe here we have the new tool, right? So this is really, really good, right? I hope you are enjoying this one, right? So I will stop this class here, and I hope you can finish this by today, right? The next thing is I will try to finish up the uh, patch request and the delete one. Okay, and once we are done that, we are good to go with the API, meaning the CRUD operations, right? Thank you.